Hello YouTube, this is Infonator 1. I'm making a short video on the validity of Revelations and how I believe it's more of a, I wouldn't even say made up, but whoever is in control of this, reality that we're in, Matrix, I believe there's a lot of things that got to cover here. But whoever's in charge, I believe, is basically, with the book of Revelations, reinforcing the future for us, and in effect also, since we have an effect as they've proven our observation on reality, we can affect reality. So they're basically using our own, I think I've mentioned it in one of my videos, where they're using our own predictive programming, what they've put in, supplanted in our brains, to conjure up the reality much easier that they want for us. In other words, Revelation is going to happen because they've told us it's going to happen, and then we're going to make it happen. And I know it's complicated, but if we can change a particle of light from a wave to a particle, to a wave to a particle, then that means we do affect reality in a very small sense, but in a morphogenic or mass collective way, we can basically change reality. That's why there seems to be some timeline changes, like the I just heard what's his name, Ground Zero, Clyde Lewis, say that in the Bible there's no more mention of the lion, the lamb lying with the lion, or eating with the lion. So there are a few time changes in that that comedian who was Shazam. I haven't found that yet. What's his name? I forgot his name, but he was a comedian. I haven't found that either. It seems that reality is pliable. We need to know how to become more sentient beings so that we can change it in a good way. I'm starting to tend towards looking into superposition. I mean, I think that's the way. In other words, superposition is being in two places at the same time. Most notably, you're in a deeper state of mind, like a delta wave. Anyways, let me get to the. I believe that this book, Revelations, is so flawed in so many ways, even though I understand it very much. I know that a scroll back then, or the metaphoric sense of a scroll, is something that unravels information. But I believe that it was a mushroom or something. They stored mushrooms back then. They said that the scroll was bitter to the taste and sweet to the bitter to the stomach, sweet to the mouth, to the taste. That's how they stored mushrooms back in the olden days, not today, of course. But they put them in honey. So the reality is that it was more than likely a really good mushroom, or mushrooms. Just setting to the side, we might even have to contest that it didn't happen, because we all realize that. Why do they care about these apostles so much? Because they hung out with Jesus? Even Jesus, well, Jesus could have been an archon who comes through a portal or a singularity every 2,000 years, roughly. See, that's the thing about these so-called gods. They can only be with us as long as that singularity is open. And as soon as it's going to close, and they know when it's going to close, they go through it back where they came from. These archons they're not like us. They're another species. If you ever watched the movie I think it's Midnight Special, where they have those jinn, that boy is misplaced, and he was born here on Earth, and then he starts, I guess, dying because he's not from here. And that's what we're talking about. Jesus explained he was not from here. His kingdom was somewhere else. And he could have been a real being, and it's possible. Yeah, all that's possible. Only thing is that it's not good. It's not a good being. It's a super intelligent being, like a supercomputer, but I would even say craftier than a supercomputer. It's gathered all this information over eons and millennia how to dazzle, impress the human race, and then therefore capture their minds, and therefore make them subservient to this rhetoric that they've created. Now, given the fact that John was on the island, supposedly he saw these visions of the future, an apocalyptic one where people are going to die, and just see, that's the Archon's MO. That's how come I say the Archons need us to die to go into another dimension, preferably I suppose their dimension or their matrix, by coming to us in the form of maybe somebody at the hour of our death, somebody that that we love, and that will gradually, slowly integrate us into their other matrix. But the chief problem with this is, why is it given so much validity? It's predictive programming, because we're slowly going to accept this idea. And not only that, the biggest question is, who else in known history has had a vision where people write a book about it? You know, see, this is another red flag that seems to show that it's Achilles' heel, that this is predictive programming, so that we follow in step. We accept this inevitability, and we accept that Jesus at the end will come and save us. See, that's the problem. He comes too late. And that's the problem, if he comes at all. We could be subservient to a belief that somebody's going to come and save us, but at the time everybody's dead. I mean, everybody's already dead. So what's the point? It is a trick. That's what I'm trying to say. The whole Bible is a trick, and everybody who's like into the Bible is emotionally invested. They cannot de-invest themselves from this idea that God is good when he's actually a deceiver. He created the good and the bad, but he is actually bad. He needs the classical stereotype. He needs souls. Souls give him the ability to control others. He consumes these souls. He uses these souls, and these souls have etheric, quintessential energy, soul energy, spirit energy. This energy is made him capable to have powers, because the more electromagnetic energy you have, the more you can bend reality, bend time, space. That's what a planet does. It bends space and time. Therefore, you experience space and time. So they are capable of creating realities because they can bend space and time with the quintessential, or as the movie The Fifth Element calls it, the fifth element. These spirits need blood. It's holy. And that's the thing, there hasn't been any modern day somebody who's taken some entheogens, psychedelics, and then come out and say, I know the future past the revelations, or maybe before that. Nobody's proselytized that. So you got to realize this is not prophetic. It's basically it's predictive programming to get us ready for our doom and destruction. You got to realize that I believe that very much so, because there's so many errors here. Yes, the only thing that gives it validity is its simplicity of its metaphors for helicopters and war and all that. They don't understand it. That gives a little validity to it. But I really believe that if God were good, I know that he'd come and, stop it before it really happens. But another thing is that if God were powerful, he'd actually, instead of, like it's, we know that the rapture is in question, but if there is a rapture, he could rapture off the evil people instead of rapturing off the good people, supposedly. And therefore he'd leave the good people here, and then they live a full life, they die, and they go to heaven. But of course, heaven's another thing I gotta talk about. I don't believe anybody's going to heaven. It's just going to be a reoccurrence. In other words, we're going to be reinserted into a carnal matrix again. So, with that, I want you to consider what I've said. The island of Patmos, yes, they gave him a scroll. This little scroll is actually a psychedelic. He ate it. He saw the vision of the future where man was going to be in war, and people were going to be killed and all this stuff, and for their beliefs, Christians were going to have their heads chopped off, all this and this and that. I mean, if you can read it, go ahead, go for it. But it's basically predictive programming, and I have to expose these things because I am not the enemy of mankind. I am a person. I'm a man. First and foremost, I want people to live, good long life. I want humanity to go into the future, even if this is a, matrix. It doesn't matter. We still feel pain, suffering, and all that. That's the Matrix. It's just like they said in the movie The Matrix. If you're shot in the Matrix, you die. If you die in the Matrix, you die for real. So I never got that, but then eventually it hit me. I'm like, the Matrix is everything reality can be. A virtual reality with pain, sensory, and all that stuff. So remember that we are in, if you look, like I've told other people, being incarnated is exactly like being in the Matrix. Like it says in the Bible, when you're incarnated, there's everything, it parallels the movie The Matrix. There's no difference. So you can consider religion and this, what I'm telling you, the same. It's the same. Anyways, I'll let you go, and I'll let you think. I'll let you ponder about this, think about it, and wonder if maybe I'm wrong or right. But please post comments if you like or don't like, and also subscribe. Any of that stuff. YouTube doesn't let me monetize. I wonder why, because they own the ideas that I'm telling you, the religions that I'm talking about. YouTube is part of the deceptory reality that we're in. Along with other major platforms, they're all deceptive, and they allow religion. They definitely allowed religion to get big and accumulate its disciples, because religion is a way of decisiveness to put people against each other, polarization, just like politics is. So remember, everything is them. I just want you to think about everything I say, ponder it. You don't even have to use, once in a while, just think about it. 3 minutes out of the day, a minute out of the day. Eventually, you'll get it. Okay, this is Infonator out. I hope you have a good day. Infonator out. Bye.